Taurus, how you doing? Welcome to your Astroflower solstice reading for 2023, December 2023. We're going into Capricorn season, so fellow Earth signs. This should be quite good for you. But the overall message, and it's a real message of the solstice, that's what we're doing here. And the message for the solstice at the moment seems to be the sort of undercurrent that's coming to the surface, the elephant in the room that we can no longer ignore, basically. So let's just see what's going on for you and your solstice message. You get the High Priestess on your overall energies. Yeah, this could well be seeing those undercurrents. This could be that intuition that you're using in your undercurrents. Using the your intuition to see clearly the sort of zeitgeist, the energy that is around the sort of situation, which allows you to sort of like see through the mists. On your relationship side, though, you're carrying quite a lot. Maybe it's in order to see clearly. You may not necessarily. I don't think you need to see it in a labour-intensive sort of way. It has to be a lot more subtler than that within the relationships that are around you. And the universe here is trying to encourage you to follow on your pathway, follow your dreams and your aspirations. And I think doing this in a very subtle way in regards to your relationships. You know, not really risking, not risking too much, but just not really putting everything on the table. You're not concealing anything either. It's just like kind of, just taking it easy, not really sort of like pushing it out there, because otherwise you'll just end up carrying the can for everyone, and that's probably not a good idea. And on the connecting to your past, to your future, you get the King of Swords. Following that evident path, following that sort of star that you have within you that shines brightly for, if you take an ideal situation and play a film through your life, as it were, and look at your life and sort of look at what would be the most ideal situation and play it like a film and following that through, I think that is really important. And you have an opportunity here to possibly unveil a lot of things in your relationship spheres, and this could be with your partner, within your family, your friends, and your community. And it's like, it's because of this undercurrent, this energy that's sort of flowing through, that's under the surface, that's bringing a lot of things to the surface. Maybe here you're sort of starting a whole new cycle by seeing things completely differently, and all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but out of this, if you take this on board of not carrying too much, keeping it very light and easy going and flowing, I think you're going to see what relationships seem to work for you more than anything else. Let's just see what's going on your financial side. You've got the Ace of Wands, out with the old and in with the new, and this is also to do with that undercurrents, and we saw it in the collective reading as well. And that High Priestess is really sort of helping you to sort of see between the layers of reality in order for you to get your sort of your success and just go ahead and doing it, basically. The pathway that's led you there has brought you up with lots and lots of beautiful things, and you've learned a lot, and there's a lot of gifts that you've collected on your career path or your business or your job, whatever you're going through. And the moment you start sort of engaging that, in a sense that this engaging in this new vibration of seeing through things and seeing things in the background, which allows you to get your passions and your pulses racing, as it were. And the universe is, when you do this, the universe is really going to encourage it. And within you, and within your world, this is going to make you go a lot quicker, make decisions a lot quicker, follow the evident path, exploit sort of situations that are very beneficial to you. But I don't mean exploit in a nasty way, but just really sort of open up and use the situation or the energy at the moment that really brings out a lot of victories for you, makes you go really sort of quickly and stuff like that. And the overall energy, as I said, we get the High Priestess. usually Taurus, you're concentrating on what's going on. You're concentrating very much on the, acts rather than gestures. Sort of, you concentrate on facts rather than just sort of like, speeches. So you want to see it actually happening here, and this is where your intuition can be very beneficial, because you could see things, try them out, and see what works and see what really goes for you. And it seems to be that's what comes out of this whole sort of message here, because you get 2 twos at the top. And I think if you're starting to see things, the undercurrent, and see between the layers of reality, that's going to be very advantageous for you, not only within your financial world, but also within your relationships world. On your karmic mission, you get the 10 of Wands. If you want this message to play out in your life, if you want this this good results, or the dreams and your aspirations to come to fruition, you're going to have to tread lightly. So, and I think this ties into the High Priestess as well. It's where if you really want to see clearly, it's like with energy. If if you're going to try and see things with energy, you've got to be detached from the situation. You can't really be present. When I'm working on healing and stuff like that, Tom is no longer there in a way. Tom is sort of like sat to one side and allowing the energy flow through, and things just sort of happen all by themselves. And the moment you start doing that, then therefore you can't take on board emotionally, physically, the situation of the person that's in front of you. And I think if you want to get the most out of this message, you've got to take that sort of attitude there, where you've got to be very light on your foot, really, more than anything else, in order to see the subtleties and the nuances within the relationship. Because the universe here is, your shadow side, your dark side, and maybe that could be it, trying to do everything. And you shouldn't try and do everything, Taurus, or carry everything, as it were. Here is a case where the universe here is sort of saying that there's plenty of stars in the sky, but you've chosen one, and concentrate on it. And that is within your relationship. It's concentrate on the relationships that are working for you, and they're also returning as much as you're giving as well. Because the Hermit's following that sort of star there. It's shining for the Hermit, but the Hermit is also carrying that star around. So this is sort of like, following that path and recognizing the light of your path as you go forward. And it's connecting your past to your future. You get the King of Swords. This is almost like the surface, like, we're talking about undercurrents here from the energies that are coming through, because the solstice goes through in the UK in the middle of the morning. It's in the middle of midday to afternoon in Australia. Later in the evening in Eastern America, and sort of midday afternoon in the the west of America. And so it's all about the undercurrent surface. But here, I think it's taking into account the main flow of the surface of where you have come from. And there's a lot of wisdom in you. And this wisdom can be very subtle if you allow yourself to be a lot lighter on your feet and allow things to flow rather than you interjecting into it. That's what I sort of feel. And it's like, it's going to give you an insight of how to engage in your relationships that are around you in a new way. And it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot more subtle, much more sort of joyous, much more sort of laughable life, and the engagement that you can have with the relationships around you is much more sort of relaxed and enjoyable. And this is what seems to be the possible new way of thinking that's coming through this sort of solstice for you. On the overall outcome, you get the Two of Pentacles. So this is a bit of a choice, and I think it's a case of choosing what really works for you and what works as relationships, what works between you and another person. You've also got the two there, the Two of Cups on your financial side, which is very strange because you've got the Pentacles on your relationship side and the Cups on your sort of financial side. So it's sort of like they're almost in opposite mode here at the moment. And this could help you recognizing the enjoyable side of life without having to carry too much. It may help you to engage in your relationships in a very much more sort of physical way. When you're feeling a lot happier with yourself and someone turns around to you and says, hey, do you fancy going punting on a river or rowing on a river? And you go, yeah, great. When you normally, if you're in a real sort of, if you're stuck in the mechanics of life, you'll be kind of going, I haven't got time to go for rowing. And now you have. It's got, I haven't got time to go for boating. And now you have. And it's because you're taking things at a much sort of lighter level as well. This is the sort of message that comes through. This is the thing that you can approach life differently, certainly this winter, because the solstice influence goes on for another sort of 3 months after this. But it's having that sort of clear vision, that wisdom within you to start to reinvent yourself more than anything else. On your financial side, and I think this is where you're really concentrating on by the looks of things, you've got the Ace of Wands. So out with the old and in with the new. A new sort of passion that comes into your life. And I think the passion is into how you engage with your career path, with your business, with your job, with your projects and everything like that. It's a new invigoration, a new passion that is sort of comes out of an understanding of how things work under the surface, between the layers of reality. So that gives you the cutting edge on life, on people around you, on your competitors and stuff like that. The universe here is, if you do engage this passion and start installing it and take on this sort of message of what's going on the undersurface, the universe here is going to bring you your righteous deserts, as it were, your rewards or success for you. But it's not just success, it's also recognition, where people would notice, kind of going, Taurus, I didn't see that. You sort of like, you're jumping out in front here. It's amazing. And I think it might surprise a few people, your success here. What's connecting your past to your future in this message? You get the Six of Cups. I think there's a lot of things that you've done in order to get to this passionate moment within you. And because you've done a lot, this is where you can learn a lot from your past, and you can bring those joyous, vibrant, passionate energies through to the future, which will help with your success with the Six of Wands, but also it'll help you to sort of instigate that Ace of Wands within your karmic path. And it's not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I tend to sort of say that with the Six of Cups, and it's learning about the beauty and the joys of what you've done in order to get to where you are today. And what's driving through you, it will open up a speed of, I think this is the key card here. It's opening up the speed of reflection and decision making. Because as you move quickly, so will things move quickly around you. Once you start seeing the undercurrent, once you start seeing things that are happening, so for example, you're in a job and you can see that one particular item is selling a lot around you. You've noticed it within, as you go through life. Maybe your mates are buying a particular product, or your kids are buying a particular product, and this sort of like makes you then within your job, you can kind of go, in that case we should be pushing this product here, and things will move on very, very quickly, and you'll build your success very quickly with good solid victories. And as you do, this is when you start getting really into alignment with yourself, and really sort of loving what you're doing, really fulfilling rewards for you, I think. And it helps you basically what's happening here is it's helping you to increase your speed in progression on your pathway if you start using your intuition to a certain extent. Yeah, let's just do a bit of clarification with the Light Seers card. We've got we're going to be doing some lives between the 27th and the 30th, so it's a yearly reading for 2024, and they're going to be live, as I said. And you can ask questions according to what's being pulled out in regards to this, the yearly reading. And so in order to ask a question, you're going to need to be subscribed, so that you will know, you'll be notified through the community page when these lives will be going out, and you can actually, as I said, ask questions accordingly. Okay, let's just see what's going on with this, with the high priestess, and that intuition, that it's all to do with moons as well, the high priestess, and this is what this solstice is all about for you. It's gonna be very fruitful if you pay attention to the nice little details that make you, that involve your passions, but also invigorate your pathway in regards to your relationships. All of a sudden you're going to realize that actually there's a lot of opportunity here that was unseen before. Once you start connecting to sort of like the background vibration that's going on, that's what opens the door to your success initially. On your karmic path, on your relationship side, lovers. I don't try too hard. I think that is what the benefits are of seeing or using your intuition, is that you can concentrate more on love without having to feel like that you're having to carry your love, or carry your relationships or whatever. It's much more easygoing. It allows you to have an exchange, a loving exchange between you and another person. And this could also be your family, your friends and your community, as much as your couple. But try not to labor it. I'll get there in a minute. Try not to labor it and keep it as light as possible and as enjoyable as possible. With the Hermit card, you get the Eight of Wands. This is the focal point of your relationships in regards to that subtle intuition. It's giving you a drive, a direction to follow. And that direction is driven by that film, that idea of the ultimate sort of relationship and the engagement between you and another person in a relationship. And it is very joyous by the feel of it. It certainly feels very joyous. The cards want to jump out all over the place. Obviously I can't read all of them, but it feels very joyous more than anything else. It's because it becomes pretty straightforward for you. It becomes very, very clear as a thing, as a direction to take and a way of being with people. Sunshine, happiness, yeah. Make it a lot lighter, Taurus. This is the message from your solstice, for your solstice. Make light of relationships. Not make them, ridicule them, but make it much more sort of relaxed and easygoing, basically. And then you get the Four of Cups with this new cycle. It's a new way of, she's really reflecting, she's really thinking about things, and she's distilling those sort of three cups, the celebration, the connections that you have with other people that are around you. And she's creating that one cup there of just pure brilliance. It's distilling or concentrating or, refining your joys, your emotions into a one particular cup. And this will spark that whole new cycle in your life. Because it's going to give you like a purpose, almost like a clarity to your feelings about another person, and that's going to be, that's going to help you to sort of enjoy life incredibly. And I think it ties into the Two of Pentacles of how it helps you to make choices as you go forward. The Ace of Cups. This is what you're distilling into. As I said, with this Four of Cups here, you're distilling these 3 cups into this 1 cup here. And that is a whole new sort of way of being for you. And it's what works for you. What works for you? When it touches your heart. When it makes your heart sing. When it makes you feel light and happy and fully engaged in the relationship. But not just you, but also another person. It's going to help you give your heart to the Lover's card. Really, really nice. With a clear vision of where you're going and that happiness that's driving you along of where you've come from. It's with the intuition, it's giving you the subtleties of life on the foundations of knowing how you work and knowing what your pleasure is all about. On your financial side, Ace of Wands, you get the Temperance card. Is there patience here? I think it's turning negative into good. I think it's turning, seeing things under the surface. It's going to turn things in your favour. This is what I mean, sort of like negative into positive in a way. It helps you turn the day from the night into day. It helps you to see a lot clearer, basically. This is the same thing here with the High Priestess. And that's when you're going to see all those opportunities. If you engage passionately in a way that is very subtle by looking at seeing what's happening under the surface, seeing what feeds your passions, and that's going to that's what's going to turn the negatives into positive. And it's also going to give you, I think it's going to spark you into action, but a very, as I said, I think the faster you go, the better you'll be, in a way. The faster things go, the better you'll be. And I think that's what you do when you engage your passions. With the six of Wands, you get the King of Cups. It's going to create your victory or your success, your recognition of success, which comes out of your patience and your passions. Wanted to get those 2 words out correctly. Helps you to sort of be very sort of peaceful within you and going about your success. You've got to go about it in a very unflamboyant way of being very subtle about it, because otherwise people they'll get what you're doing too quickly, and you'll get the rug pulled from underneath your feet. People will start copying you, and before you know it, you've lost your unique place, as it were. And I think this is a case here where it's feeling that sort of like peace and contentment within you in regards to what you're doing as a job or business or projects, and it becomes unbeatable in the rest of the world. From your past to your future, you have the Six of Cups. So it was the case of taking all that beautiful stuff that you've learned in the past, using that subtlety or that sort of intuition so you can use those sort of like gained understandings and understandings of your pleasures and your engagement with your passions within your job and your business will allow you to sort of plan for a bigger and better future. And I think there's movement. I think things can move for you physically if you use that intuition to liberate that 9 of Cups, those opportunities for you. With the Chariot cards, you get the Page of Wands. Yeah, this is this learning process. It is a learning process, and maybe that's what the patience is all about. That Ace of Wands, is what the Page of Wands is playing with. And learning about how to use your passions in order to forward your progression within your job and your business and your projects. And it will go very quickly. But being patient with yourself might be really important here as you're learning that whole sort of process of your passions and exploring your passions. And there is movement, as I say, And there seems to be, if you approach it in this way and you use your intuitions and you want to be, you want to be moving house or moving region or whatever it is, moving state and stuff like that, that's going to happen really, really quickly. The moment you start paying attention to the, your personal intuition and what's going on around you. And look at that, with the Two of Cups, you get the Three of Cups. Look what you've got on the surface there. Look what you got the outcome. 1, 2, 3. It's as easy as A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. That's what it's all about. And when you're into alignment with yourself, I think this is where your natural sort of networking, your natural sort of charm and sort of like social sort of skills can really come out and connect with other people, which also explores that sort of Nine of Cups sort of scenario there, that you're liberating all the possibilities, the joyous possibilities, because you're paying attention to what is going on under the surface. There you go, Taurus. Thank you very much for being here. Hope you get the best out of these sort of readings. As I say, we'll be doing a live between the 27th and the 30th. You're going to need to be subscribed if you want to ask questions on the live yearly reading. I will see you there for that. Thank you for all the support you give to this channel. There's loads of links in the description below. I will see you there. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.